To niche or not to niche? Or to niche or not to niche? Should you niche down in your reselling business? I think the answer is yes. And today I'm going to give you 4 reasons why I think the answer is yes. Stick around and then at the end of the video, tell me if you agree. Hey, welcome to the Part-Time Hustle. I'm Joe, and here we talk about saving money, making money, and growing money. One of the ways that I make my money grow for me is I reinvest it into used clothing and I sell that on eBay. Today we're going to talk about why you should niche down if you're a reseller. I know that selling a little bit of everything is fun, but is it the smartest thing? During this video, just by the way, I'm going to show you some items that I recently picked up at the thrift store. I'm going to do it because I think it's interesting and because some of these items help me make some of the points that I want to make. The first item I want to show you is this Carhartt t-shirt with the Henley. I found out recently as I'm learning more about reselling that that's what they call that when it's got the 3 buttons. It's a t-shirt with the 3 buttons and the crew collar. It's new with tags. Everything I'm going to show you is part of 2 trips that I made to a local thrift store, and I picked up about 20 things. My average cost of goods was right at about $3. Some of the items that I'm going to show you, you'll see some jeans. This t-shirt were more in the $4 to $6 range, and some of them were $1 or $2, but $3 average cost of goods. Picking up quality items, new with tags, is a proven way to make money reselling. You get it for the right price. You confirm that it is new, there's no damage, there's no issues. Really easy to sell, you'll make a few bucks. Speaking of proven, that's the first reason I think you should niche down is because it's a proven business model. I know we think of stores like Walmart and Costco that sell a lot of everything, but when you think about smaller business, being niched down is not uncommon at all. Think about small engine repair. Small engines, that's anything from an outboard motor to a chainsaw to a riding lawnmower or a rototiller, right? So small engine repair is a guy that fixes everything. The reality is most of those types of engines that I just mentioned are in small shops where that's pretty much all they work on. If you go to an outboard repair shop, very rarely are you going to see anything in there being worked on other than outboards. Same with chainsaws, very specialized. They might work on weed eaters or other yard equipment that is made by companies like Steel and Husqvarna that are well-known chainsaw manufacturers, but for the most part, they just work on chainsaws. So small engine repair is a big umbrella, and underneath that is a lot of little shops that focus on one type of engine. Another business that we see every day that's probably a little more niche than maybe you think about is like used car dealerships. Think of the little fly-by-night car dealerships you see that have 30 or 40 cars. Rarely do you see a motorcycle on that lot and a boat and a single-engine airplane out back and a couple of Army surplus vehicles. It's generally just your bread and butter Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Nissan type cars. Fairly niche down when you think about all the other forms of motorized transportation that they could be selling. So that's reason number 1 why I think you should niche down. The second reason that I've chosen to niche down, and I would suggest that you do too, is it makes knowledge and skill acquisition a little bit easier. You're not trying to learn about everything you could possibly resell, just one category. So I picked these jeans up. They're Levi's, and this particular pair is 550s. They're in practically new shape, really good condition. They're 40 by 32, which is a good size. I think they're going to sell pretty good. I picked up another pair, and these are 505s, very similar, but they're different, and but also in very good shape. They're the same size, perhaps the same person donated them, so I picked those up. So they're 505s and they're 550s, and I want to talk from them about 560s. Actually, let's talk about all of them. I've got some notes here because I think this is interesting. I looked on eBay and I looked at what was available, what had sold, and kind of what they sold for. The 505s, there were 823 in this size that were available, and 274 of them sold. Not a great sell-through rate, but it's okay. And since those are in such great shape, I don't have any concerns whether or not they'll sell. Kind of the starting price for them, when you factor in shipping, 16 to 18 bucks, and then it kind of goes up from there. I'm hoping that the kind of condition those are in, that I'll sell them for more than $20 with shipping. The 550s, about the same sell-through rate. There was less of them available. 617 available, 186 of them sold. And kind of the starting point for those is about the same thing, 16, 18 bucks. Now 560s, which I don't have a pair of them, but I've seen them. I think I've even bought and sold a pair or two of them. Currently, there's 93 available, 143 have sold, and they start a little over $20 and go up from there. So the sell-through rate is astronomically better for 560s than it is for the 505s or the 550s, and they sell for a little bit more money. I kind of already knew that today, but I didn't know it a few months ago. I've been learning as I go. Now, if I was also trying to learn women's clothing, I sold a few of my wife's old clothes early on. She wasn't wearing them anymore. We just wanted to get some inventory sold and get the business off the ground. Learning about women's clothes for somebody who's never been interested in that before, it's tough. So by niching down, I'm learning more about what's important to me from a business standpoint. I'm trying to build a brand and sell used men's workwear and casual business attire. That's kind of the niche I want to be in. And in order to learn that really well, I don't need to be trying to learn about VCRs, and I don't need to try to learn about trading cards and video games and women's clothes. So if you're considering niching down, I would think about how much easier it will be for you to learn one category at a time instead of trying to learn them all at once. So reason number 3 why I would suggest that you niche down is because in order to make a business run smoothly and profitably, you need to be efficient, and processes and systems are what will bring you efficiency. And the more categories you sell in, the more processes and systems you would need. Now, this is true in other businesses as well. If you look at where you get your new tires at on your car, they don't also change oil. They pretty much just focus on tires because the process to get the car off the ground and access the tires is different than the process of putting the car over the pit to access the oil plug and the filters. So they have 4 or 5 bays. It's the same process in each bay. When you go get your oil changed at a quick lube oil type place, they've got 4 or 5 bays, and it's the same process in each one. So when it comes to reselling, selling in one category or just 1 or 2 categories means there are less systems that you have to create and implement. Now, let me give you a real life example of how selling one category makes it easier. I got this shirt. It's a 511 tactical shirt, 511 tactical. It's an interesting shirt in that this top button is a button, and then around the belly button is also a button, and the 2 in between are snaps. And the reason for that is it's got a pocket inside where you could put a small concealed carry, and you just rip the snaps open and you reach your carry. It's got on the sides, the side hem down here is this Velcro. Same thing. If you're carrying on your hip, it becomes easier to access your weapon. So that's what this is designed for, sort of a niche within a niche. But basically from a listing standpoint, it's a short sleeve casual button down shirt. I bought these shorts, and the brand is Pelagic. See if you can see that. And it's a quality offshore fishing brand. And sold comps on these are about 25 bucks. Picked them up for $1 or $2. They're part of that average cost of $3. And I picked up this Vineyard Vines polo. And it's the first Vineyard Vines I picked up. I don't know that they're great sellers, but sold comps tell me I'll make a few bucks on it. So in the haul that I picked up, actually there are 4 pair of shorts, and there's 4 of those short sleeve button down casual shirts, and there are 2 polos. So when it comes to photographing and listing those, I'll photograph them in batches. I'll photograph the 4 shorts, and then I'll photograph the 4 short sleeve button down shirts, and then I'll photograph the 2 polos. And then when I go to list them, I'll list them in the same order that I took the pictures in, and I'll pre-package them to ship, put them on the shelves, and I'm good to go. So those 10 items are basically going to be 3 different methods of photoing, but very similar, and 3 different listing templates. Now, if those 10 items were 1 short, 1 pair of jeans, VCR, a golf club, who knows? If I had 10 completely different items, then I would have to have different photo setups. After I packed the clothing, then I'd have to get boxes out and bubble wrap and all kinds of other things. So by niching down to men's clothes, men's workwear and casual business clothes, my systems and processes are simplified. Now, the 4th and final reason that I would suggest you niche down has to do with reputation and relationships. Basically, you want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that if you walk into a thrift store and they've got a pile of VCRs in the back that they haven't been able to sort through yet, they're taking up space, they need to get rid of them. If you want to be in that niche, you want to be the guy known for that. You want to walk in the store and have the manager say, "Bill, I'm glad you're here. I've got a pile of VCRs and DVD players in the back that I haven't had time to sort. If you're willing to buy them all, let's go take a look at them." You want to be that guy. Whatever niche you're in, you want to be known for it. And you want to have a good relationship with the people that you buy from. You'll get those kind of deals. You also want to be that guy that if somebody bought, for me, I'm selling used clothes, men's used clothes, work clothes, that kind of thing. I want somebody that bought a pair of Carhartts and Duluth Trading Company shirts from me. 6 months later, when they need more work clothes, I want them to come back and see if I've got something available. And if I'm not niched down, it's likely I won't have them. And they may come back and look at my store once, and that might be it. So in order to have that relationship, have that reputation as a seller, that this is where people go to get this particular item, you have to consistently have it. And it will be easier to do that if you've niched down. So if after watching this, you agree that niching down might be a good idea, why don't you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, maybe just do that anyway. But I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.